Following the signs. Hey Cancer, Cancer placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Just wherever you have a Cancer placement. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you for clicking on the video. If this is your first time here, welcome in. I'm very grateful to have you a part of this. And if you're returning, welcome back, my darling. And let's get a message for you guys. So I've previously meditated on this card that I pulled for you. The Enchanted Fern Grotto, Refuge. And initially when I saw it, I just thought of that instantaneous Cancerian nature to retreat back into the shell. I feel like there's a lot that could be, really encouraging you to want to be in the safe space, in the home space, a place where you're able to be introspective and somewhere that you can truly be yourself, Cancer. Removing any masks, you don't have to hide. You can say and be and feel what you want to feel in this space. You see, the Refuge card, it also, it speaks of like success to come. Now that's very much in the meditation, entering into the Fern Grotto. It's a very sacred space where elves and fairies do enter. So it's an invitation to recognize the magic that is around you. Now, throughout that meditation, I got a visual of like an ocean setting with a hill on the side and a lighthouse. And with that, the message, there is great success for you, but it's going to require a period of isolation in order to plan ahead for the future. But I feel like this is going to be like something you are actually being called into with whatever's going on for you right now, Cancer. There's obviously a driving force that's prompting this need to seek refuge. Now we've had both the Saturn card and the 10th house, the world, come out for you here. Saturn, well, he's that god that they said who was so fierce he ate his own children. And that's because Saturn can feel like it shows no mercy. Saturn comes in and really makes us have a fucking good hard look at ourselves, doesn't it? Are we where we want to be in life? Shouldn't I have more by now? Have I used my time wisely? Something is really presenting to be quite a challenge for you right now. Now, this isn't a time to give up, Cancer. This is a time that is going to require you to really hone in on that voice within and whatever strength and gusto that you have in order to pursue and get through this challenge. There's a lot that's coming up for you now where there's a lot of reality being presented around you. And it's a time now to really be honest with yourself and with your surroundings and your environment, because something is really inhibiting this future success to come. Now, the 10th house, that's all about, fame and fortune, really. It is that the natal house of Capricorn, but it's also ruled by Saturn. So something is really shifting and changing for you when it comes to like how you make your money and where you're destined to be. The Saturn card also speaks of, feeling your age, no matter how old you are. And, this is a time where there's potential issues with bones, with dental can pop up too. So really needing to look at what it is that you are nourishing yourself with. How do you care for yourself? Is the way you're caring for yourself going to support this next phase? Because we've also got this 10th house representing the world, which is also correspondent with the world in tarot. There's something that's truly ending for you right now, Cancer. And there's something that's also beginning. Now, I'm not talking about just any beginning. Like, this is just something that you're working on, that you are being recognized for. You're being seen. Some of you could have Capricorn in your chart to have both these cards here. Someone could be 34. But what we've got here is like a real call for truth and honesty. And this isn't just, with other people. This is also with yourself. This Saturn card has a tendency to realizing the enemies in our life and fucking looking in the mirror and realize that we could be our very worst one. Realizing that with success can come a lot of other things, and maybe your motives recently have been about that materialistic gain. But it's like, if you were to have all these things you truly desire, like, they could almost lead you to your own self-destruction as well. So where are these desires coming from? Because they're not in par with where you're going. I feel you to be a really influential person, Cancer. And you've been through the tough challenges throughout life. You're enduring them. And you could be at a time now where, what else is there but to go within? And I keep coming back to that ocean scene, that lighthouse. Like, you are an essence of light for others, whether you realize that or not. And so with that role comes a duty of care to yourself. You haven't faced all these struggles and hardship for nothing. These challenges that have almost been gifted to you are going to be the driving force for your success. So quite a deep start here, Cancer. But, something is obviously forcing you into this need for refuge, this need to go within, to really be able to listen to your own voice. If you feel compelled, and just because you may like me, if you'd like to hit the like and subscribe button, Cancer, I would love to have you a part of the tribe. All right, let's see here. Let's cook this deck. What is this truth Cancer is currently facing, Spirit? Okay, there she is. We've got the World card showing up here. The Eight of Cups in the reverse. And the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Well, you definitely are at the ending and the beginning of a new phase. You're right at your peak at the moment here. Been through the mill, round the other side, and ready to take what you have learned into that next phase. There's a lot of cycles that you've been working through over the course of your lifetime here. There's maybe you've stayed in things a lot longer than you should have here. And as a water sign, I can relate with that, with the big emotions that do come along. And there's a lot of depth here. But there's also a lot of, tendency to be just reliving those same things, those same scenarios. It's a lot of almost you're not wanting to turn back on yourself. I don't know, there's a lot of messages coming through here, and it's going to be different for each and every one of you who are viewing right now. But, when we think of the Eight of Cups, that's that turning your back and really taking your own worth and being willing to surrender and sacrifice what was there, what was once potential, and heading out, following your intuition into the unknown. In the reverse here, that's like, an unwillingness almost to let something go, to hold on, and to, almost be not seeing, your true value in order to stay. Be willing to sacrifice and compensate your own feelings to put into something else. And with that Five of Pentacles, like feeling on the outside. However, in the reverse here, it's like you're continuing to put yourself in places that maybe they are not fulfilling for you at this time. Let's get a little more clarification there. Yeah, it's definitely, some of you could be dealing with a Leo here. Very much an opposing force, like where you are a cardinal sign, Cancer. We've got fixed fire energy here, which is quite stubborn and quite intense on the opposite end of the spectrum. Where are we going with this, Cancer? I've almost lost my train of thought here. But it could be a very overwhelming and confusing time for you. And I feel like this is really why this call for the retreat is quite necessary for you, in order to quiet the noise that's around you and able to just really focus in on what it is that you want and need right now. So I see, like, you've been held back a lot by your own thoughts and your own, like, trying to compartmentalize other people's motives and your own motives. Like, am I right in doing this? Like, very hesitant, and it's restricted in a lot of ways by how you think or want to assume something to be. What is this Eight of Swords? Here you are, Chariot. You are overcoming this. You're embracing those, the not so pleasant and the pleasant that can bring you forward. It's this Strength card in the obstacle. Four of Swords and the Six of Swords in the reverse. Trying to be strong all the time is almost delaying what's rightfully yours. And there could be like a situation here that's been needing a lot of strength and endurance to get through it. But we've got here clarified by the Four of Swords, like there's also like a weariness, a tiredness, and a retraction from this to keep going. And that's because maybe like someone else isn't playing their part here. And the advice here with the Four of Wands in the reverse, like that's moving on from disharmony. What is that? Four of Wands in the reverse. Six of Cups in the reverse. It's like very much, don't get stuck in the past. Don't get stuck in that nostalgia of, but it was once good. Or like, was it though? Nine of Pentacles reverse. To clarify, the King of Wands in the reverse. There's no growth here. There's like a lack of stability, a lack of drive to, and will to keep going. This could really inhibit whatever it is that you are destined for here, Cancer. So clarify the World card here for us, Spirit. Is truth. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. That's like a non-coming together. Nothing's working together here. Facing this reality of this is not working. Five of Pentacles in the reverse, clarified by the Queen of Wands and the 6 of Wands. If this isn't your energy here, like this is someone else benefiting off, whatever, benefiting off you, but not working with you here, Cancer. What did we have? What was that 8 of Cups in the reverse? Wheel of Fortune. So, there's like a karmic lesson here. And this Saturn card is like forcing you to have a look at it right now. And what's important to realize is that it's not going to be easy, Cancer. So don't for a second think like this is too hard, like it mustn't be meant to be, or it's not possible, it's unachievable, because it's not. That's not true. And you need to face the truth of this situation, and that something is not working with you right now. It's working against you. I'm going to pack these up. We're going to grab another deck. Let's grab the Rider-Waite here. What's the advice in this situation, Spirit? What's the advice for Cancer? What's the advice for Cancer? We've got the Moon in the reverse. We've got the King of Swords in the reverse. And we've got the 10 of Wands in the reverse. There could be a situation that could be quite irrational to begin with. There's a lot that's going to be expressed here, but with it is going to become a big release. If this doesn't represent the situation, like this could be someone that's quite cutting with their words. But I feel like this Moon in reverse, like this is your call to express, to say what maybe you have been keeping to yourself. What have you been avoiding in your intuition, in what you've been sensing and already knowing to be true here? We've got the Lovers in the reverse and the Devil in the reverse here, clarifying the King of Swords in the reverse. Someone could be feeling very indecisive about, letting go of something, breaking free of something, which could be, causing them to feel like they're losing control here. Because there's a lot of not thinking clearly here. There's a potential for someone just not being whole within themselves. Their own internal demons are governing their presence, their being. How does this affect Cancer? 4 of Swords. This will hopefully encourage this downtime for you, this call for the retraction and the seeking refuge. What would be beneficial to you right now is really taking care of yourself, prioritizing what you need, your mental health. Are you having a nice, nourishing dinner of a night time? When did you last book in and have a massage or something to cause an energy shift for you? Tending to, it's a time for planning is what I'm hearing for you, Cancer. It's not a time, now is not the time to act. Oh, goodness me. Now isn't the time to act on, feeling like you've got to solve everything and have like this new thing happening. There's going to be a lot of eyes on you at this time. There's going to be a lot of talk about what you've got going on because you are being noticed and you are being seen. But in order for this to work in your favor, you need to plan ahead for the future. Don't don't allow yourself to get in the way of your own growth here, is what I'm saying. This whole situation could feel quite uncomfortable for you. And I think that sort of comes back to those initial cards of potentially looking past, the red flags of compensating like your own needs in a situation here. Holding on to something when it's already dead and it's delaying your happiness. Warmth is, meant to be in your life. Success, fame, fortune. It's like you've been assigned a big role here, like with your soul, and you're currently denying yourself your true calling. World at the bottom of the deck here. The truth will set you free, Cancer. Let's get a closing angel message for you. Soulmate card in the reverse. So like you do desire to have a divine connection. I feel like I'm connecting with a divine feminine, divine masculine energy here. Because these challenges and this truth, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for, it's going to require a lot from you that a lot of people would turn their back on. But this desire that you have, like the universe longs to deliver it to you. And I feel like whatever this calling is for you is calling in this person. Meditation could really be of benefit to you in this downtime, Cancer. I'm going to wrap this one up. Please like and subscribe if this resonated. Cancer, I love you, and I will see you in the next one.